Says all countries should put far more effort into fighting the drugs flow from Afghanistan, a threat Moscow views as greater than terrorism. Nearly 1 million people died from using Afghan heroin in the past few years around the globe, with Russia being its biggest consumer. RT's Irina Galushko has a story.
Poppy fields, fields of dreams for drug sellers, fields of death for heroin users. In Afghanistan, officials say children as young as 5 smoke hashish and heroin, with their mothers getting them hooked. And in Russia, more and more young people succumb to addiction every year. Natalia was 17 when she tried heroin for the first time. She used it for 4 years, occasionally stopping, only to try other drugs like cocaine and amphetamines.
You feel a false sense of freedom, euphoria, calm, peace and warmth. But it's all temporary. Drugs take away your natural ability to feel that way.
Natalia has been clean for several years. She now works at the same center where she went to get help with her addiction.
My parents bought me an apartment to get me out of their lives. They didn't want my younger sister to see me either. She had a pretty good idea what was going on. I had nothing but stripped down walls in that place. That's when I realized I was really on the brink.
Russia is the biggest victim of the Afghan opium trade. Every third person who dies of heroin in the world is a Russian. The country accounts for 20% of global heroin abuse. So it's no surprise Moscow is playing host to a major conference dedicated to stamping out the Afghan drugs trade. And it would like to see more help from other countries and international organizations, such as NATO, in what is so far a losing battle.
Any political games around this huge problem are unacceptable. They weaken our common anti-drugs coalition. Afghanistan today is the world's main drug supplier, but the problem has spread over regional borders. That's why our common goal is to prevent the globalization of the criminal world.
Some participants are already putting forward proposals to battle heroin trafficking from Afghanistan.
You have a morphine shortage around the world in hospitals. Why wouldn't it work to take NGOs, non-governmental organizations, have them purchase opium from the farmers, let's say at 10% more than the Taliban would pay, move that opium off the market, deny the funds to the Taliban, and provide the hospitals with morphine.
Moscow hopes ideas such as this will lead to effective action on a problem it considers worse than terrorism.
Russia has one of the fastest growing rates of heroin users in the world. Medics warn if the trend continues, in 5 years, every 10th family will have a member who used drugs produced in Afghanistan. And though rehab centers do have a certain rate of success, they help individuals only and do not solve the problem overall. For that to happen, Russia wants the world to work together to fight what is, after all, a global concern. Irina Galushko, RT, Moscow.